The interval sample size for the tag history binding type allows us to bring back tag history but break it up into time chunks. To demonstrate this, I have a table in the window. We can bind the data property to a tag history binding type, where first we can select the tags we want to bring back by dragging them to the right hand side. Down below I can specify the date range and the sample size. Let's say we're going to bring back the most recent 1 hour of data for these 5 tags here. Now if I use a natural sample size, we're going to bring back the raw data, which in my case I'm logging the tags every 1 second, so I'm going to bring back a record for every 1 second. And for an hour, that would give me 3,600 records. So I can do this on a table, but the problem is there's too much information for the operator to go through. On a trend, it's no big deal, but on a table, we have to scroll through a long list of values to see what happened for the last hour. So rather than looking at the raw data, or the 1 second resolution here, I want to break it up into different time intervals, so I can see a lot less. So in the binding, we can actually change the sample size to interval, where I can specify whatever interval I want. So let's say we're going to bring back the most recent 1 hour of data, but break it up into 10-minute chunks. So the date range has to be equally divisible by the sample size, which here it does. 60 minutes divided by 10 minutes will give me 6 records. So because I'm grouping data into a smaller set of records, the aggregation mode over here will apply. I can look at the closest value for every 10 minutes. I can look at the time weighted average, the min-max values, basic average, or sum. Let's look at the closest value for every 10-minute interval here. So I can press OK and I'll see a lot less data now on the table. If I look at the times here, I can see for the last hour I'm getting the data broken up into 10-minute intervals, where I can see then the closest value for that time, for every 10 minutes. Now if I go back into my binding, I can set the aggregation mode maybe to basic average, where now I can look at the basic average for the last hour broken up by every 10 minutes. So in this binding, you actually have a couple of links over here on the right hand side of the date range as well as the sample size, so you can actually let the operator on a numeric text field or something on the window change what they want the interval size to be. So it is dynamic.